Hey guys, it's me Fungus again, and today I'll be talking your ears off again. This time about the main characters of the Lone Star series, G-MAF's officers. But before I go over who the officers are themselves, I should probably go over what G-MAF is as a whole. G-MAF is the Giant Monster Attack Force. Think the Science Patrol or MAT. That's kind of how they operate in this. They thought that they had wiped out all the monsters on Earth by the mid-2030s, and because of that, their funding is slashed heavily, and they're only left with a little bit of stuff. That is until the 2040s when monsters reappear and their funding comes back. The little bit of stuff they have left are simply three aerial vehicles named the Falcon, the Hawk, and the Eagle. One land vehicle being the Roadrunner, and their orbiting HQ, with the three landing sites being in the US, Spain, and Tokyo, Japan. Well, now it's time to go over the officers themselves. Captain Takeshi Moriboshi. Captain Takeshi is a 50-year-old Japanese man. He's, of course, the captain of G-MAF. Captain Takeshi lost everyone important to him. He lost his wife, his kid, his family, everybody. And because of this, he's dedicated his life specifically towards his job, G-MAF, and the people he works with, being the team at G-MAF. Takeshi's very hard on his team, but it's purely because he wants them to succeed. He's also very reserved and doesn't give a lot of details about himself or his life easily at all. The officers respect him, however, and he is a very good leader, though maybe he should get like a hobby or a girlfriend or just something. He's very heavily based on Dan Moriboshi, specifically from Ultraman Leo. Dan Moriboshi, for those of you who don't know, which I'm surprised you wouldn't know if you're here, is, of course, Ultra 7's human form. If you don't know who Ultra 7 is, how'd you find this? You can also probably tell the inspiration from his name, and the further the series goes on, the more that this inspiration becomes clear. Scott C. Norris, or Vice Captain Norris, or just Scott, as he would want his friends to call him. I'm not his friend, of course. I created him, but Scott is a 42-year-old man from South Dakota, and he comes from a long line of military. He's a military family man. His father was in the Navy. His mother was in the Army. His grandfather was in the Air Force. His grandmother was an Army nurse. His great-grandfather served in both World Wars, and the list just goes on and on. Norris was once in the Marines, but left to pursue a career in G-MAF after his hometown was attacked by a monster and he nearly lost his parents. I'm gonna cut that silence out. Scott is like the dad of the G-MAF crew. He's always giving fatherly advice and telling the best, or depending on how you look at it, worst dad jokes. He's kind of living the American dream almost, wife, two kids, works at home. Not works at home. His wife is a home wife. Well, he goes and works, and yeah, he's just kind of living the dream, really. But he cares deeply a lot for his family and his team at G-MAF, and he really does wish he could spend more time with his family. Though his kids really do immensely adore him. In fact, his oldest son, Jack, has expressed a desire to follow in his father's footsteps. Now, Scott, like most of G-MAF officers, as you'll come to realize, is named after a character from the Ultra series. Well, Scott is actually named after three things. One, of course, being Ultraman Scott, and the other being Ultraman Chuck. That's what the C in his name stands for. And if you take the middle name, Chuck, and his last name, you'll get a name that I'm not going to say because it's an old internet meme. Officer Marie Kenson, or just Marie, is a 35-year-old woman from Oregon. Marie has always been fascinated by technology and monsters. Her main goal in life is to one day find a way for us to coexist with the monsters. Peacefully, of course. She believes that the monsters are an essential part of the planet's environment and has written multiple award-winning books to back up her claims. She works as G-MAF's head scientist, helping analyze the monsters and find new strategies to mitigate the damage and harm they cause to urban populations. Now that you think about it, why would she be working for G-MAF if they're the monster fighting organization? You know, well, it's honestly quite simple. G-MAF is the only job that really allows one to get up close and personal with the monsters. And G-MAF isn't purely monster exterminators. They're here to protect us from the monsters, and recently have been making a conscious effort to not kill the monsters. Now, where did Marie get this idea to coexist with the monsters? This is from her now passed away wife, who was the previous captain of G-MAF. And Marie has basically put it upon herself that as long as Marie is alive and kicking, she will continue to push towards this dream of coexisting with monsters. Marie's, of course, name comes from two Ultras, Mother of Ultra and Father of Ultra. Of course, their names are Ultrawoman Marie and Ultraman Ken. As you can tell, I'm kind of unoriginal. Andrew Mello, or Andrew. So, if Scott is G-MAF's dad, then Mello is the annoying older brother. Andrew Mello is a 33-year-old man of total Western European descent, though most of this is from Great Britain. He joined G-MAF with one goal: to destroy all monsters. Mello's hatred towards monsters started on the day a monster ate his younger sister right in front of him. Mello is often seen spacing out and is usually in a very bad mood. Mello isn't completely devoid of a personality, though, and he isn't all just kill, kill, kill. He likes to make jokes, and he really does care for the rest of the team. He just has a hard time showing it. He often comes off as sarcastic and grating, and he butts head with Marie a lot. But he is making an active, conscious effort to try and make his teammates not hate him. He just needs to work a lot on himself. So, Andrew's name is very probably obvious. It's Andromelos, from Andromelos, who was in Ultra Galaxy Fight 2 Absolute Conspiracy. But yeah, that's Andrew. Juliana Guerrero. Officer Guerrero, otherwise known as Juliana by most and as Julie by AEG specifically, is a 25-year-old woman of Spanish and Native American descent. Juliana comes from a line of G-MAF captains and vice captains. Her great-grandmother was the founder of G-MAF, instantly the captain there. Her grandmother took on the role as captain directly after that, and her mother was the previous vice captain. This fact heavily affects Juliana, making her feel like she has somehow failed in life, or that she will never live up to her ancestors before her. She takes her job very seriously as a result and always tries to do her best, and she has a deep care for her teammates, especially for AEG, and is one of the few to know his true identity. If you don't understand what I said, basically, Juliana has a very big crush on AEG. Now, Juliana's name, not names, is based on Yulian, the princess of the Ultras, who, fun fact, is my favorite Ultra. Just putting that out there. Officer Eiji Nakano, or just AEG, is a 25-year-old man from Japan who goes by two names. One of them, of course, being AEG, and the other is Lone Star. No one calls him Lone Star, by the way. Nobody really knows he's Lone Star except for a few people in G-MAF. So AEG, he's mostly carefree and is always trying his hardest. He's a little dumb, but he really does try hard. And of course, as previously mentioned, he has a little bit of a thing for Juliana, or as he calls her, Julie. I will have to go over AEG more later in a different video, so stay tuned for that one. So, AEG's name, of course, comes from Eiji Tsuburaya, special effects legend and the creator of the Ultra series. And his last name is also a thing, Teruyoshi Nakano, the guy who took over the special effects director role after Tsuburaya's passing. He directed a lot of the Godzilla movies after Tsuburaya. And, well, that's all I have for today. I will have the a video talking mostly about Lone Star himself later.